Hello everyone, welcome to the English Echo. We're very happy you're here today. Today, we're going to practice English together in a simple and relaxing way. I'm Sam.
And I'm Sophia.
We're happy you're here today.
Let's learn together.
So, Sophia, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing really well, actually. I slept great last night, so I have a lot of energy today. How about you?
I'm doing good too. But you know, it's funny you mentioned sleeping well and waking up.
Yeah.
Because it actually connects perfectly to what we were talking about today.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, I learned something pretty crazy recently. Did you know that almost half of the things we do every single day aren't actually real choices?
Wait, almost half. That sounds really high.
Right. It shocked me too. We think we're making decisions all day long.
Yeah.
But about 40% of our daily actions are just completely automatic.
Wow. That is a really amazing statistic, Sam. But, when you really think about it, it actually makes perfect sense.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. Think about your morning today. When you woke up, did you have to think deeply about every single step you took?
Well, no, not really. I woke up, I walked to the kitchen, and I just started making coffee.
Exactly. You didn't stand there and debate whether you should make coffee or not.
No, I didn't even think about the steps. My body just did it while my mind was still, half asleep.
Right. And that is exactly what we call a habit.
A habit. Okay, so how would you define that simply?
A habit is simply an action you do so regularly that your brain just stops actively thinking about it.
It stops thinking about it entirely.
Pretty much, yeah. Your brain actually builds a little pathway for that specific action. And once that pathway is strong, the action just happens on its own.
Yeah, that is so interesting. I've always wondered, how that works biologically. Why does our brain want to build these automatic pathways?
Well, mostly to save energy.
Energy, like physical energy.
Mental energy, mostly. Making decisions takes a lot of mental power. It is tiring for the brain.
Oh, I see. So if we had to think about everything, we'd be tired.
Exactly. Just imagine if you had to consciously think about how to tie your shoes, or how to brush your teeth, or how to lock your front door every single morning.
Oh, wow. Yeah, if I had to focus really hard on tying my shoes, my brain would be exhausted by 9:00 a.m.
Exactly. So your brain makes it automatic.
That explains so much. It's kind of like locking the front door when you leave for work.
Yes, that is a perfect example.
Because sometimes I get halfway down the street and I suddenly panic. I think, wait, did I lock the door?
Yes, I do that all the time.
Right, and then I walk all the way back to check it and it's always locked. I just did it automatically.
Yep. Your brain was already thinking about your drive to work or what you need to do that day, so your body just handled the door on autopilot.
Autopilot, that's a great word for it.
It really is. And this is why morning routines are so incredibly helpful for people.
Because you don't have to think.
Exactly. By doing the exact same things every morning, you save all your brain's energy for the really big, important decisions later in the day.
That makes sense. I hear people say proudly, I'm a creature of habit.
Yes, that's a very common English idiom.
Is being a creature of habit a bad thing?
Not at all. Being a creature of habit is actually a very smart strategy.
Really? How so?
It just means you have found consistency and comfort in your daily actions. Think about highly successful people.
Okay.
Many of them eat the exact same breakfast every single day. Or, they wear the exact same style of clothes.
Oh, like a uniform almost.
Right. They aren't boring people. They're just protecting their mental energy.
Oh, I get it now. You don't want to waste your brain energy staring at your closet, just trying to pick a shirt.
Exactly. Save that energy for your work or your family.
So if habits are just these great energy-saving routines, how do they actually start?
What do you mean?
Well, because there are definitely some habits I want to start, like exercising, but they never seem to become automatic.
To understand how to start a habit, we have to look at something called the habit loop.
The habit loop. Okay, what is that?
Every habit has 3 parts. First, there is a trigger or a signal.
A trigger. Hi.
Second, there is the action itself. And third, there is the reward. You need all 3 of those to build a strong pathway in your brain.
Okay, so a trigger, an action, and a reward. Okay. Let's use my morning coffee as an example.
Perfect. Let's hear it.
So the trigger is probably just waking up and feeling tired. That's the signal.
Exactly. And the action.
The action is just making the coffee and drinking it.
Right. And what's the reward?
The reward is that warm, energetic feeling I get afterward. It feels great.
Exactly. And because that reward feels so good, your brain remembers it.
Ah, so it wants to do it again.
Yes. The next morning, when you experience that same trigger of waking up tired, your brain immediately pushes you toward the coffee machine. It wants that reward.
So if I want to build a new healthy habit, like running, I just need to create that loop. Well, I'll watch a great video about health, right? And I feel incredibly motivated. So I run every day for like 5 days in a row.
That's a great start.
It is. But by the second week, my motivation is totally gone. And I just quit. Why does motivation disappear like that?
Because motivation is just an emotion, Sam.
Just an emotion.
Yes. And emotions are kind of like the weather. Sometimes it's bright and sunny and you feel like you can run a marathon.
Yeah, that's how I feel on day one.
Right. But other times it's dark and raining in your mind and you just want to stay in bed. You simply can't depend on the weather to be sunny every single day.
Wow. That's a really interesting way to look at it.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If I rely on feeling motivated, I am guaranteed to fail on the days I'm tired.
Exactly. So you shouldn't rely on motivation.
Then what's the alternative? How do people actually stick to their goals?
They rely on consistency instead of motivation.
Consistency, so doing it regularly.
Yes. Consistency means taking action even when the feeling isn't there, even when you don't want to.
But it's so hard.
It is. But the secret to consistency is that you have to start very, very small. Most people try to do something far too difficult right at the beginning.
Oh, like me trying to run 3 miles on my very first day.
Exactly. When you do that, it hurts. You're exhausted.
Yeah, my legs are usually killing me.
Right. So your brain probably registers that pain as a punishment, not a reward.
Oh, and if there's no reward, the habit loop breaks.
Precisely. Your brain actively avoids things that feel too hard. So instead of planning to run for an hour, you should plan to just walk outside for 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes. That's it.
That's it. Anyone can walk for 10 minutes. It doesn't require a sunny, motivated emotion to just put on your shoes and walk down the street.
I like that. 10 minutes feels really easy. But I have to ask, is 10 minutes really enough to change my health? It just seems almost too small to make a real difference.
I understand why you'd think that. But in the very beginning, you aren't trying to change your physical health yet.
I'm not.
No, you are trying to change your brain. You are building the habit pathway.
Oh, I see. I'm just teaching my brain to do the action.
Yes. A 10-minute walk every single day is much more powerful than a 1-hour run that you only do once a month.
Because of the repetition?
Exactly. The regular repetition is what builds the pathway. And once the habit becomes second nature, you can easily make the walk longer.
Second nature. That's a great phrase for our listeners.
Here's a very useful phrase.
Yeah, when something becomes second nature, it just means it feels completely natural and effortless. It's a part of who you are.
Beautifully explained, Sam.
Thank you. So, what are some other strategies to make a new habit feel like second nature quickly?
One of the best strategies is to connect your new habit to an old one. Sometimes we call this habit stacking. You find something you already do every single day automatically, and you attach your new goal to it.
Can you give me a simple example of how that works? Like, how do we actually connect them?
Sure. Let's say your goal is to drink a large glass of water every morning to rehydrate your body.
Okay, good goal.
But instead of just trying to remember it out of nowhere, you connect it to brushing your teeth.
Because I already brush my teeth every morning, that's the old habit.
Exactly. It's a strong, existing habit. So you make a rule.
What kind of rule?
You say to yourself, immediately after I put my toothbrush down, I will drink 1 glass of water.
Oh, wow. So the toothbrush becomes the trigger for the water.
Yes. You don't even have to think about it. The old habit acts as a clear signal for the new habit.
That is so smart.
It works really well. And to make it even stronger, write that plan down on a piece of paper and put it on your bathroom mirror.
Because seeing it helps.
Yes, writing goals down makes them physical and real. You can also track your progress, like put a check mark on a calendar every time you drink the water.
Oh, I've tried tracking my habits on a calendar before.
Did you like it?
Well, it feels amazing to see like 10 check marks in a row. But honestly, it also creates a lot of pressure for me.
What do you mean?
Well, what happens if I get sick or I have a really busy morning and I just miss a day?
I see.
A lot of people feel like missing one day means they totally failed the entire process. And then they just give up.
Sam, that is such a common fear, but I want to tell you, it's completely false.
It is.
Yes. Nobody is perfect. Every single person in the world misses a day sometimes. Life happens.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you just get busy.
The most important thing to understand is that missing one single day does not destroy the pathway you are building in your brain.
That is really comforting to hear.
I'm glad.
So if I break my streak and miss a day of walking or drinking water, I should just throw away the calendar?
Absolutely not. The secret is simply returning to the habit the very next day.
Just start again tomorrow.
Yes. The golden rule is try not to miss 2 days in a row. Just forgive yourself for the missed day and start fresh tomorrow.
You only fail if you completely stop trying.
Exactly.
That takes so much pressure off. Okay, so we've talked a lot about morning routines and building good habits.
Yes, mornings are great for habits.
But let's look at the other side of the day. Because as the evening arrives, my energy drops.
Right. Naturally.
And I notice this is when all my bad habits seem to wake up.
Oh, yes. That's very natural. Remember what we said earlier about decision fatigue?
Yeah, making choices makes the brain tired.
Right. By the evening, your brain has made hundreds of decisions. Your mental energy is completely empty.
So my willpower is gone.
Your willpower is at its lowest point.
Wow.
That's why evening routines should really focus on slowing down and creating a peaceful environment.
I definitely feel that lack of willpower. That's usually when I crave really unhealthy things.
Like I crave junk food. Or I spend an hour just scrolling through my phone while lying in bed. It's just so easy to stare at a screen.
Screen time before bed is probably one of the most common bad habits today, but it's very harmful to our sleep.
Really? Just looking at a phone?
Yes. The blue light that comes from your phone or your tablet, it actually tricks your brain.
Tricks it how?
It stops your body from producing the sleep hormone because your brain thinks the sun is still shining.
Oh, wow. Because the light is so bright.
Exactly.
But it's incredibly hard to just stop looking at my phone. If I tell myself, Sam, don't look at the phone, I usually end up just staring at the ceiling.
Feeling anxious.
Yeah, feeling anxious, and eventually I just grab the phone anyway. How do we actually stop a bad habit?
Well, you just hit on the exact problem. You can't just delete a bad habit.
You can't.
No. If you try to just remove it, you leave a big, empty hole in your routine. Your brain is still looking for an action and a reward.
So what do I do instead?
Instead of removing the bad habit, you have to replace it. That sounds much smarter than just fighting it.
It really is.
It's kind of like trying to gently turn a moving car instead of standing in front of it and trying to stop it with your hands.
That is a wonderful comparison, Sam. Yes.
So what's a good way to replace the habit of scrolling on my phone in bed?
Well, you replace the digital screen with something physical and calming.
Like a book.
Exactly. Try putting a real paper book on your pillow every morning.
Oh, so it's waiting for me.
Right. When you get into bed at night, you still get to hold something in your hands. And you still get to focus your eyes on a story.
But there is no blue light to keep me awake.
Exactly. You get the reward of relaxing without the harm of the screen.
That's brilliant. What about bad eating habits?
Those work the same way.
Because in the afternoon, I often crave a sugary snack, like a candy bar. The desire is just so strong. How do I replace that?
Well, when you crave sugar in the afternoon, your body is usually just asking for a quick energy reward. It wants a break. So don't fight the need for a break. Instead, put an apple or some grapes on your desk.
So they are right there, ready to eat.
Yes. When the afternoon trigger happens, eat the fruit. You still get a sweet reward, but it's a healthy one.
I really like this idea of working with the brain's reward system instead of fighting against it.
It makes life much easier.
But, sometimes, especially at night, I stay up way too late because I am avoiding things I need to do.
Ah, you mean you procrastinate.
Yes, I procrastinate. And I always end up completely losing track of time.
Losing track of time is very easy to do, especially with things like video games or social media.
Definitely. I play for 30 minutes and suddenly 2 hours are gone.
Right. They're specially designed to capture your attention so completely that hours just disappear. But you mentioned a very important word, procrastinate.
Yes, procrastination. For our listeners, that's when we delay doing important tasks because we just don't want to do them.
Yes, delaying things.
Yeah. But Sophia, I always thought procrastinating just meant a person was lazy. Is there more to it than that?
Oh, there is much more to it. Procrastination usually isn't about laziness at all. It's actually about your brain trying to protect you from feeling uncomfortable. When a job feels too big or too difficult or too boring, your brain sees it as a threat to your energy.
Okay, I think I see.
So your brain says, let's do something easy and safe instead, like watch a video.
So when I delay cleaning my really messy garage, it's not because I'm a lazy person.
No, it's because your brain looks at that giant mess and gets overwhelmed.
And it chooses to play a game on my phone because that feels safe and easy.
Exactly.
That makes so much sense. But how do we beat that feeling?
You beat it by making the task feel safe and easy too. There is a great psychological trick called the 5-minute rule.
The 5-minute rule, how does that work?
When a task feels too big, you don't tell yourself you have to finish it.
Okay.
You just tell yourself you will work on it for exactly 5 minutes, and then you can start.
Just 5 minutes. But I could never clean my entire garage in 5 minutes. How does that help?
It helps because starting is always the hardest part. The resistance is in the very first step.
Oh, so just getting off the couch is the hard part.
Yes, once you begin, you build momentum. Your brain realizes the task isn't actually painful.
And I guess most of the time, when those 5 minutes are over, I probably won't want to stop.
Exactly. You'll keep going until the job is done.
That is a fantastic trick. It shrinks the giant monster of a task into a tiny, easy 5-minute step.
It really works.
You know, I've also heard of something called the 2-minute rule for smaller things around the house. You heard of that one?
Yes, the 2-minute rule is wonderful for keeping your environment clean. The rule is simple.
What is it?
If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, don't put it on a list.
Don't plan to do it later.
Right. Just do it immediately, right then and there.
Like washing your coffee cup right after you finish drinking.
Exactly. It takes 30 seconds.
But if you leave it in the sink, it becomes part of a huge pile of dishes later.
And that huge pile makes you want to procrastinate.
Wow. Yes, that is so true.
These small habits, the 2-minute rule, replacing bad habits, focusing on small daily actions, they all shape the kind of life we live.
They really do. And, you know, this connects perfectly to what our listeners are doing at this exact moment.
Yes, it does.
Everyone listening to us right now is actively working on a major life goal, learning a new language.
Which is a beautiful goal.
And learning English might be the ultimate test of building a good habit. You definitely can't learn a language in just a few days.
No, you can't. Language learning is entirely about the brain pathways we talked about earlier.
Building that path day by day.
Yes. Many learners feel frustrated because they try to study for 4 hours on a Sunday, but then they don't look at English again for the rest of the week.
And that doesn't build a strong pathway, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It's just like the running example we talked about. Doing something incredibly hard once a week doesn't work.
Exactly. It is much better to listen to a short English conversation or read a simple English story for just 15 minutes every single day.
Yes, a short daily connection with the language is the best way to become fluent.
The most successful English learners aren't necessarily people with magical memories. They are simply the people who stick with it.
Stick with it. I love that phrase. For our listeners, that means they don't quit when it feels difficult.
Right. When the motivation fades, they rely on consistency. They show up, even when they make mistakes.
Because making mistakes is totally normal. In fact, making mistakes is just part of how the brain learns what the right path is.
That's a beautiful way to look at it, Sam. Every mistake is just feedback. It helps your brain adjust.
You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present.
Exactly. And by pressing play on this conversation today, you are already building a powerful, positive habit.
It really is amazing how it all connects, Sophia.
It is.
The way we start our mornings with a glass of water, the way we choose a book instead of a phone at night, and the way we practice English for 15 minutes a day. We truly become what we repeatedly do.
Small steps create big results over time. If you keep practicing consistently, focusing on small daily improvements, you will look back in a year and be amazed at how far you have come.
That is so true. Before we go, I want everyone to think about this. Your life today is basically the result of the habits you built last year. So what kind of life are your current habits building for you next year?
That is a powerful question to leave with our listeners.
Thank you for listening to the English Echo.
Keep practicing English every day.
Small steps can make a big difference.
See you in the next episode.